Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Rockinboxes. Welcome to Rockinboxes Presents this week. Sometimes the little live button comes in, and that's why I repeat myself if you've heard me repeat myself. Anyway, welcome to Rockinboxes Presents this week, and my special guest, my good friend, she's an author. She's got some great books out there at Amazon. We'll talk all about that a little bit later in the conversation. But please welcome to the program this week on Rockinboxes Presents. We welcome the lovely Jen Pease. Jen, how are you?
I'm very good. I'm so happy to be here, Sean. How are you?
Oh, you know what? It's been crazy. You know, when you get the kids and you're trying to edit and you're trying to do all kinds of... Anyway, enough about me. I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm good. Couple little fiascos, as you know, with the house, but other than that, I'm good. I'm very excited to talk about my new book. Very excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to talk about it. And plus, you've also written a few other books that we'll get into a little bit later as well. So let's talk about this. It's A Test of Fate is the title.
Yes.
And it's a second book to Vixen's Valor, the first book. So let's get into it a little bit and tell people what it's all about.
Well, the first book right here, it's Pirate Vixen of the Red Dawn. This is her. This is the character, Ariella, right here. Yes.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah, she's feisty. But this is the second book in the series, the newest one that is coming out. This probably will hit October 1st or thereabouts. And this newest one is the second in the series, talking about, it gets more in depth on who she is. And it will test her in every way imaginable. And I bring back some of the old characters and some really cool new ones that I think everybody will either hate or love. Yeah, it's I'll tell you what, it is taking a lot of heart and soul in this book. I'm putting everything into it because I really want people to love my book. And the characters are incredible, especially Ariella. She's the main character. She is the Captain Redbeard's daughter. And once her father passed away, she took over the ship. And there was a lot of times where people and orcs, there's orcs in there and different things that basically didn't think that she could run a ship. She's a woman. How could she run a ship? But you know, she's an Irish woman.
Oh.
She kicks butt.
Yeah, I think any Irish woman could run a ship. They really pull the tight ship. They do.
Yeah, your mom was Irish, eh? So you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit of backstory about Ariella, and she's the main character in the book. She also, for the people that missed it in the last show, if they never watched our last show together, Ariella is a strong Irish woman, and she battles the orcs, and she takes full control. Talk a little bit about her and how you created her.
Well, when she was younger, first of all, let's start off with her mom passed away during childbirth. So her father raised her on the ship, and as I said, he was the captain of the ship. So she learned at a very young age how to handle just about any situation. And when she was younger, she started to learn how to do certain magic things. She has a power that's kind of, it was a secret in the first book, but and you can see by the front cover of the book, she has a power where she can form electricity, sort of electric balls of electricity she can throw in that. And she has a shaman named Torquus who has taught her how to, do some of the magic. But also, one of the other characters is Chance, and he is an elven man, but he can transform into an eagle. And she learned her magic too from him, kind of both from him and from Torquus. Now, when she was growing up, she kind of fell in love with Chance, but her father could not stand him because he didn't think he was worth his daughter's hand. So they kind of go their separate ways, and then they come back together in the first book to help battle the orcs. The orcs are taking over the town, a lot of the towns, and so you have different characters from the book come together with King Eric. King Eric is the king of Pandera, and him and his crew meet up with her, and they battle the orcs in the first book. So this second book, she's kind of battling herself, where some of the characters from the first book are kind of making a family wave, if you want to say it like that, so to speak. And so she goes to their village to meet up with them and find out that is a family really what she wants. She's a pirate. She's a captain. Are you kidding? You know, she can't handle that. Plus, I mean, so she goes through a lot of this kind of back and forth where one of the characters from the first book basically fall in love with her and want her to settle down. And in this book, she's going to show that, no, that's not for me. And there's a really gruesome chapter, and I knew that I wanted to add that chapter in this book, but some people read my book and they think it's just romance, and it's not that. It's not just romance at all. There are some romantic scenes and romantic spots, but the gruesome, I don't know if you've ever heard of keel hauling, what the pirates used to do, keel haul. Well, she has to show these people who think that she's too soft as a pirate. Basically, she has to make an example out of somebody, and that comes into play. And it's really, really graphic. I wanted to make it, I wanted the person that's reading it to see it in their mind's eye. And so I got really graphic into it. So that's one of the things. Also, if you've read my first book, you will know one of the characters in there passes away. And in this next book, Vortet, in the next book, one of his offspring comes into play, and he didn't even know that he didn't know anything about this. So I wanted to bring part of him back into this book. He's such an awesome character, and to lose him, you know, writing that part, it was so hard because you get close to these characters. You have to. If you don't put your heart into it, what's the point of even writing these books, you know? So I got really close. I thought about my own dad, how it would be, him sitting there dying, and sure, you know, she's Ariella, the character, is there to help him, and he ends up passing away. So in the next book, I brought him, not him, one of his offsprings in, and Ariella comes to love her.
Sorry to interrupt. We hear some noise background. It sounds like somebody's eating potato chips or something.
Really? Only one that in here is little Smokey, my dog. Hold on, I'll shut the door, okay?
Okay. So with respect to her book, Jen, she does, I will post all the links for Jen's books. You can get them on Amazon. If you just punch in Jen, Jenpease, Jen Pease on Amazon, you can find her books. And we will say it again at the end of the broadcast. And I was just telling everybody where they could get your books at the moment that are just joining us, and some people may have to leave early. So I will post all the links for the Amazon link, but I told them punch up Jenpease, Jen Pease for Amazon, and you can find, you know, Pirate Vixen of the Red Dawn, of Vixen's Valor, and probably this one as well, I'm going to assume, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. That one will drop. I'm just in editing phase. It will be out more than likely October 1st. That's what I'm shooting for. Could be a little sooner, but as soon as I know, I will put the link up, and I'll put it on Twitter too.
Fantastic. Now, can you talk a little bit about the reception of the first book? Your first book was the Disney book, which was My Love for Disney, which was a great read, a lot of fun, your experience.
Thank you.
But can you talk a little bit about the reception of the first book and how well it did?
Yeah, the first book did really good. It was fantastic. It's this book right here, My Love for Disney.
Yeah. My Love for Disney, I got it too.
It's so beautiful. I'm so proud of this one. This book came out because, okay, there's several reasons. One of the reasons, though, I had so many people ask me, why do you do Disney? Why do you keep going back? You've seen it once, you've seen it, enough. And I'm like, you know what? I have to write a book about why Disney? Why did it, capture me so much? Why do I love it? And I became a Disney Vacation Club member. And this was by no means trying to sell Disney Vacation Club at all. I have no affiliation with them as far as Disney. But this book, I'll tell you right now, it was so hard to write it because I had to start from the beginning, which was me growing up, being emancipated at 13, meaning my parents divorced me basically out on the streets of Detroit, and the hardships I had to go through. I didn't want to get into every little detail because I didn't want to, scare people off or, oh my God, she was this, she had, it didn't matter. That didn't matter. The point is, I came through all of that, and I raised my girls, my two daughters, and I talk about it in this book, how I became the woman I am today and how Disney helped me. Because I'll tell you right now, Disney, I fell in love with it. I went for the first time in 2002, and I talk about that in the book. I wanted to take my girls there. I wanted to see how actually it was. I could never afford that when I was younger. My parents couldn't. And when I went, there was something different that I can't even explain completely. It was like all that childhood that I had lost, all that time that I had to be a woman at 13. I could be a child again, walking down. I didn't have to walk down Main Street, hanging out. I didn't have to worry about anything at all. And I talk about that in the book and explain to people it's not just a week vacation and then I'm done and I never want to go back. This is a lifestyle. And there's a huge community that I've met so many people on Twitter and so many people that I meet up with. And they know where I'm coming from. It is actually, it's like therapy. It heals you. It really, really does. I've taken so many of my nieces and nephews to Disney. I have 26 nieces and nephews. There's no way I could take them all at once, but when I could, I try to take one or two with me. And I want them to see it, I want them to see like what I saw. If you're struggling or something, maybe you can't afford Disney, but it is not hopeless. I explain that in the book, Also, I explain how to save money because not a lot of people can afford it. How you could go with a family and you don't have to stay at a deluxe hotel. You don't have to eat at the fanciest restaurants. We went and just had a picnic, brought our own food, and stayed outside of property. And then we've stayed in the nice hotels too, in the deluxe and in the fancier restaurant. We've done it all. And I wanted to really put it into print so people could read it and say, okay, maybe that's why, she goes all the time. If nothing else, read it and take something from it. And what I did was I dropped a few off at the women's shelter because I wanted them, to read it. Maybe it'll inspire them, Maybe there's a woman that feels hopeless, suicidal, who knows what. And you don't have to be suicidal. You don't have to have that hopeless feeling. There's always something, even if it's a tiny bit left in you. You can harness that. You can become something. You can, And also, here's another thing. No matter what you become, no matter how famous or non-famous, whatever, always share with somebody who needs it. Always. It doesn't matter. Always give that hand out. Help somebody. Even if you just can't help them financially, whatever, talk to them. Let them cry on your shoulder, whatever. Because we need more love. We need that,
Absolutely, and I believe in that philosophy as well, Jen.
Yeah, I know. That's why I love you so much, Sean.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, I'm always I did my big contest giveaway just not too long ago. 5, you know, Ren and Stimpy prints, Friday the 13th print. You know,
You're always doing something cool.
Thank you. So I just wanted to say that Sandy, the slightly above average adventures of Sand Dinkler, that's her. You know, was saying that you know, it's a rough place, and sorry that that happened to you.
Thank you.
And says her husband along with parents go to Disney in 2 weeks. That's right. They're going in 2 weeks, and you know, for their first trip together as a.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Do you know, that's the thing. I get excited when people go. And I'm not even going. I'm just getting excited for it because I know that they're, dude, we have this world, right? That it seems like there's so much negative and this and that. And when you are allowed, or you have the means to go to Disney, or even to camping, or even camping in your backyard, that family time, it makes me so happy. You know, it makes me happy to know other people can do that, take their kids. And first time, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, they went there for their honeymoon. That's what she was saying.
Ooh, how romantic. That's another thing. Disney is not just for kids. It is not. You can go, I went by myself and had a great time. There's so many awesome people in this community of Disney. Yeah. It's amazing.
And it's funny, we run in sort of the same circle. We have sort of the same people that we're related to when it comes to Twitter and stuff. Some of your friends that you've always posted, you know, you've tweeted out, you've mixed me in with them, and they've contacted me. I've contacted them. It's pretty cool. It's a great community.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. And the thing is, when we have this community come together, it's cool because to me, it's my family. You know what I mean? It's my chosen family. I really feel like a lot of my friends on Twitter are my family. Period. It's just it's our family. That's it.
Yeah. And you're my extended family when it comes to friendship and also the YouTube community. So
thank you.
Absolutely.
I definitely feel the same way, Sean. We've been talking for a while.
Yeah, we've been friends for some time. I've also Eerie Darkness. She also has a channel. She says she wanted to talk about the books. She says, when you start a book, do you figure out the characters' names, or maybe how do you figure out the characters' names? That maybe, or and the abilities before or during the creation of your writing a book.
Well, when I first started the book, the Pirate Vixen series, I knew the character. I had a picture in my mind of her for 5 years before I even started this book. And I just, everything in the world kind of came on me, and I pushed it off. And then I said, you know what, no more. It's time for me to do what I want to do, you know, because I was taking care of my dad and everybody else. But I had that character in my mind. The other ones kind of came as I was writing the chapters. Fernando Graythorn, who's very hot, ladies. He is so hot, and he's I shouldn't really say that to you in front of you, Sean, but he is for the ladies. There's hot girls and hot guys in my book. But when he first comes into the book, he's kind of an ass, you know. He's a smart, cocky jerk. You just want to smack him. And then she ends up having some kind of feelings for him. She gets hot for him. And but I came up with that, you know, some of the characters as I went. Because in this second book, I needed a bad boy. Now, who's going to play that? Because we already went through this kind of thing in my other book, and the one guy got killed. So now, you know, so I had to come up with a new bad boy. But I wanted him not just to be a bad boy. I wanted him to be a hot bad boy who could fight and take care of business, you know. Kind of like Connor McGregor.
Good segue, because we were going to talk a little bit about the fight. You and I both Irish, and last night I was hoping that he would take a win. Actually, here's what I said on my YouTube video. I thought that if Mayweather would have came in and give him a haymaker, that he would lift his foot and just strike him in the head. But I guess because of $100 that would have been epic and historical. But anyway, what were
Let
your
me tell
thoughts?
you. Well, I got to tell you, I got to say this real quick. I think that the rematch should be Mayweather in the octagon. What's up with that?
You said that, absolutely.
Why not? We did it in the boxing ring, right? Well, what the heck? Why not? But I don't think he's coming. I think it's done. I don't think he's going to fight again. Do you think he'll fight again?
Who? McGregor?
Mayweather.
Oh, Mayweather. Well, he's 40 years old, 50-0. I think he has nothing else to prove. So, I mean, if the money's right for the next bout, probably, you know, maybe Hulk Hogan will throw his hat in the ring and we'll get a Rocky 3 going again or something.
You never know. But I'll tell you one thing. It opened my eyes. I'll tell you what, that Irishman, he is hot. He's got the charisma. He's got everything it takes. And I'll tell you, this isn't going to obviously be his last fight. And I will definitely be one to watch. So yeah. But yeah, so I wanted something for the ladies in my book, because we talk about Ariella, we talk about Anna, we talk about the vixens. What's up for the ladies? What's for the girls? We need, you know, so this next book, it's not all about hot guys at all, but there are a few guys in there. And in this next book, the more books that I write, I just become, there's more detail, if you know what I mean? Like it's more crisp. There's more detail to it. So when there is a fight, I'm going to do the detail right down to the blood, down to everything. I'm trying my hardest, and I'm not new at this, but I'm definitely not a pro. So, you know, I'm hoping this series will at least publish at least 6 books in the series. That's what I'm going for. So it's going to take some time, but I'm thinking one to 2 books a year. So.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you next about the books. So Sandy asked, she said, did you set out to write the book and then decide on a storyline, or did a storyline pop in your head that you were inspired to expand on?
Yeah, a storyline definitely popped in my head, because I wanted a strong, like I said, I had the character Ariella. I wanted to have background for her and foreground. I wanted to say, okay, this is where she came from. This is why she is the way she is. And then I built on that. Now, I will say, for the second book, we have been doing a lot of work at Bay Ship in Sturgeon Bay. And that's about 3 hours away from me. So a lot of inspiration when I go there. It's a beautiful ship marina town, and I don't know how to explain it, but there's a lot of inspiration from there. So I take, and I know in my mind, okay, so I have notes and stuff, and I write down, okay, this is what I want her to accomplish. I want her to do this, this, and that. And then also I want the other characters to, okay, for example, Anna and Alan from the first book got married in the first book, if you remember. Yeah. So now Alan and Anna have the cottage that Ariella gave to them as a wedding gift, Wisteria Cottage, and they have their son. So I wanted to, in my mind, okay, where do we go now? Because everybody loved those characters. I want to keep them in the book, the next book. So where do you go now? Well, they have their family, they have their home. How about let's expand on Alan, and we see him opening up a training center, and he'll open a training center in the book, and it goes on to fighting and teaching the other, some of the other younger pirates, and Vortex, daughter Slade that comes, or Sable, I'm sorry, that comes into this book. She is a bladesmith. So she comes into the book, and she never, you know, it just, I had to expand. Okay, so what's her story? You know, how did she not know her father passed away? So then we go to, okay, well, here's the story, and I start building on that. And I think about what would it take to have him separate from his family? Well, the orcs attacked his village when he was gone and killed his wife and killed his other family members. And she was left, and the gypsies came and basically adopted her and took care of her. And
Right.
then, you know what I mean? So you just kind of build it as you go, but you have some kind of, I had some kind of a storyline, and then I'm building it as I'm going. Right now, I'm done with the book. I have a few editing. As I'm editing, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'd like to add a little bit more. I want the reader to have those details, to really feel like they're part of this.
Right.
And so that's what I did. And like I said, as we're editing, I'm adding stuff as I'm going. For example, this pirate flag that I drew it up, but I'm having it done in 3D. And what's different? What's different is it's Celtic. It's pirate and Irish. It's Pirish is what I call it. Pirish. Yeah. So it's going to have the Celtic heart. It's going to have the Celtic knot. You know. So and then you got the pirate flag, and I wanted the colors and stuff. So I'm working on that. I'm going to make a T-shirt for when I do my book signing. I'm going to have something to do with that. You know. And
Nice.
dude, I'm telling you, it's just, I've never known anybody to do this. I don't know somebody I can talk to and say, okay, what do I do next? I'm flying by the seat of my pants, and I'm loving it.
Good.
I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And there's days, Sean, that I can write like 2 or 3 chapters. I can bang it right out. Like, yeah, I can do it. And then there's times when I'm like, man, I'm stuck.
Well, that was my next question from Eerie Darkness. She asked, did you ever get writer's block at all? And how did you deal with it?
I got writer's block bad, and it was a while. And what I ended up doing is we went to work at Bay Ship, and I went into this tiny little town called Snug Harbor, which you'll see reference in my book to it. And I thought, geez, oh, Pete, there's so much here that I can pull from. And I started getting a little bit of inspiration, but I still didn't really know what to write. So then I started watching different pirate movies and the Vikings and Spartacus and stuff like that to pull from, so just watching stuff, watching videos. Oh my God, I typed in pirate music, and then videos would come up, and it's like, holy cow, this is cool. So now I'm writing a different, say for example, I start writing a different chapter and I'm stuck. I turn on the pirate music, light the candles, tone out everything else, and just go to work. It means I got to get it done, but I will not waver on it has to be good, because it's not fair to the readers to put shitty work out, just because I want to do it quick. Right. No, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So.
And you get better as you go. I mean, that's I was saying that to Carrie earlier. I was like, Jen, this next book, and then the next book, and then further in, you'll your story will increase and get better, and everybody will remember what went on in the first couple of books. And they'll be like, yeah, this is fantastic because it ties into the first part of what I missed, or you know what I mean, what I might have missed. Whatever, yeah. So,
yeah, for sure. Because I mean, even I can see myself getting better as I go. Like I said, the details, I really want to elaborate, I guess, because I want that reader to really feel like they're there. They're there at that tavern. They're sitting there, and this jerk comes up and wants to be an asshole, pardon my language, but you know what I'm saying. And in my book, I'm telling you right now, there are some F words. There's some F words.
We're all adults here, so I don't think there's not too many people that's never dropped an F-bomb. But just wanted to read some of the comments. Sandy said she had a wicked dream. It was very disturbing, and she said while trying to work through the emotions of it, a story came to her, so she's going to be writing a book. So hopefully, Sandy, I'd love to have you on the show, and we can promote that eventually. Because anytime like Jen contacts me, hey, I got a new book, no problem. Let's do a program. Let's do a show. Let's get you out there.
That's cool. That's really cool, Sandy. I think things do come to you in dreams, and if you write it down and you run with it, oh my God, good for you, girl. I'll be looking for your book if you put that out. Heck yeah, that's awesome.
He also says it's nice to hear, you know, interesting to hear where the inspirations come from, you know, about people's stories and stuff, especially your, you know, your first book, My Love for Disney. So, you know, and at the end of this broadcast, we'll tell you guys where you can get all these great books. I'm sorry, I'm just going through the comments. Eerie Darkness says she loves you and she's definitely going to get your book as well. Sandra Topping says you're fantabulous. And
I love you, girls. I love you so much. I really, really do. My heart's in this for you girls. And I want you to know I'm here for you in any way. If you guys need to talk or if you want some ideas on books, hit me up. You know, I'll be more than willing to help. And Sandra, I love you, and you know that. Sandra inspired me to do a character in my book.
Ooh.
Yes, yes, she did. Sura, her name is Sura, and she is feisty and she's redheaded. Oh my God, she's
redhead.
Oh, she's feisty and she's an elven Amazon woman. So, and I don't mean Amazon and like those sci-fi Amazon women. I mean hot Amazon. She's single in my book and she's ready to mingle, guys. And she is really feisty. She's a runner in my book, and she knows why. I have a lot of inspiration from my friends on this book, on the characters, and that's why I have to write another one right away, because I just have too many things, too many stories in my mind I want to get down. If I kept going, it'd be this thick. Honestly, it'd be like a freaking dictionary. So I got to break it down. That's the only reason.
That's so funny. The comments are flying right now. It says, you know, with Sandra Topping, you know, you have to keep it realistic, which is true. Keep up the great work, Jen, by just playing Deb. She says she's so proud of you.
Oh, thank you, Deb. Thank you so much.
And so true to life, you are. So, you know, yeah. And apparently Sandra said she'd let you know. So I don't know what you said, but you know, I'd let you know. Oh, I guess.
Oh.
Going on. Okay. So I just had a couple of more questions, and then you know, we're going to end it off soon. But I just wanted to know quickly how much fun was it compared writing the first Vixen book compared to this one? How much more fun? What or were they both roughly the same?
Oh my God, Sean! Let me tell you, this book is so freaking amazing. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that. The first book, I was nervous, and I did put a lot of my heart into it, but this one is for the ladies. This one is for all the girls and the men too. But this one was so fun. Bottom line, in my book right now, where she's at, we as women can do everything. We can be a mother, we can be a wife, we don't have to have a husband, we can kick butt on a pirate ship, you know, and we can please a man too. I mean, we could do it all. And I wanted that book to be this, but by no means is this just for the ladies, but it is a lot. But I had so much fun with this book. Oh my God, I didn't want to stop. That's why I have to get right into the other one. I don't want to lose that passion I have right now for it. You know, I want to get this one out right away. And the cover is beautiful. Oh my God, this next book, the cover is, you will see the captain, Ariella, looking out from land at her ship. Now, why would that be? Why wouldn't she be on her ship? She's the captain. Right there kind of tells a story. You know, you have to read it to understand it, because she should be on her ship, but for some reason she's not. But the cover, the artwork is gorgeous. In fact, what I'm doing is I'm making a little magnet thing for my car of the cover, because it's that beautiful. The first book was beautiful, and I wish I had this book the next book right now, but the first book is beautiful, but she's more like a cartoon character, right?
Yes.
I mean, she's still pretty, and it's still beautiful, but she's like a cartoon character. Well, the next one, totally realistic. I made it where she looks, I wish I could bring it up on my phone, but she's totally realistic. It's beautiful. The artwork is phenomenal. I made the flag. I have to add a few things, and we're going to put it in the book.
It's a nice little segue into what you just said, because I would like to thank my partner in crime, Jerry Potter for the fantastic job he did at Tribulation Studios. So he did put your image of the book on that promotion video. So yeah, you know, and by the way, he says hello.
Here's the book cover, and Jerry, I want to tell you something right now. Jerry is amazing, and you know this, Sean. He is phenomenal. This man is not just a phenomenal person on his art. He is a sweetheart. He personally called me to make sure that it was just right. Now, come on, who does that? And I talked to him, and we talked, and then he called me again, and I called him, and it was just like he was a friend, like a real true friend who cared about what it was like. And that's what I love. And you know what, Sean, you have so many people that you know that you've introduced me to that are like that. They're down to earth. They're real. They're not fake. They're not here, you know, to monetize. They are real. And that's how Jerry is. He's so cool. And his work is amazing.
Oh, his craft is and it's getting sicker by the day anymore.
Right?
Apparently he told me about something today, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to have it later on this evening, and I can't wait to see a portion of it. But anyway, yeah, thank you to Jerry at Tribulation Studios. Like I said, he says hi, and he says he'll.
Hi, Jerry.
I'll get him these books to have a read. You know what? He's such a busy guy, so you know whenever you get a chance, I'll let him read some of them. And yeah. So quickly, that's great. Thank you so much. So one other question here, and then we'll wind it down, because I did want you to surprise everybody with a little excerpt or a little bit from the book. Is that okay?
Oh, heck yeah. I'm ready.
All right. So Sandy says, did you, okay, wait, how do you, okay, well, we'll get to Sandra's question in a second then. First, just make them quick if you can, and because I really want to hear some of this book as well. I don't mean to be rude, but you've got a length, not a lengthy. Is it lengthy that we're going to be doing here?
I'm going to do a chapter, and it's a little bit lengthy. It's not too lengthy, but it's pretty. It's a good size.
Oh, okay. So I'm just giving a heads up to all the viewers that you know, Jen's going to be reading a chapter from the book. So first off, did you ever base a bad character on someone you knew or know, and did they ever figure it out?
No, I've never done that yet. I don't know if I ever will.
Uh-oh.
But I don't think I will, though. I haven't, honestly. Honest to God, I haven't. I trust me, I have a lot. I could put a lot of characters in from my past, but no, I haven't. Only good characters. I want nothing but love for my book. I really do. So, yeah. Nope.
Okay. That's okay, Sandra. I'll ask her. It's no big deal. Just quickly, she just wanted to know how do you do your printing and publishing? If you don't want to say it, you can just.
No, that's okay. I go to Amazon to create space, and also to the Kindle ebook thing. My very, very first book, I haven't had in print yet, only ebook, and I think I'm going to keep it there because it's pretty erotic, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we were supposed to do an adult show about that one time, I think. We'll talk about that maybe some other time if there's going to be a second one. Anyway, so yeah, so go ahead, everybody. Thank you very much for listening. You don't have to leave. Jen wants to get this little chapter out, and I definitely want to hear what this is going to be like, because I've already read the other book. And don't forget, you know, if anybody does leave us during this broadcast, Jen, just quickly give everybody a heads up where they can see you and find you.
Yes, you can find my books on Amazon.com, also Kobo, and pretty much wherever fine books are sold. I have them locally in our bookstores as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. And when you do the signings, you actually go yourself, and obviously, and
oh yeah.
So please, whenever you do that, you know, hit me up and I'll promote it out wherever you're going to be, and that way, you know, I'll do a shout out on 12 O'Clock Rocks. You know, Jen Pease is going to be at such and such.
Cool.
Yeah, please do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and also they can go on Twitter and look for me on Irish Vixen 21, and I'm working on a website right now, so I can have everything all in one. So you can look at my books and everything, and I'll have all the upcoming book signings on there too.
All right. Okay, so let's get through this chapter and take it away, Jen, and don't forget to stay with me on after, okay?
Okay, and this is halfway through chapter 3. because I wanted to do half a chapter and then the other full one. Now, then, let us play, shall we? Ariella said, smiling. And I just want to tell you, they're at the tavern and they're playing a dice game. So, more rum, Katie? Ariella said. The raven-haired wench brought the rum this time. She leaned down in front of Fernando as she set the bottle down after filling Ariella's tankard. Fernando looked, but only for a second, and then he looked at Ariella. Knowing Ariella had quite a jealous streak, he not dared to stare at the girl's ample breast practically spilling out into his face. "'Tis all you need?" the wench asked Ariella, but was looking straight at Fernando. "I'll be sure to let you know if the men need any servicing, girl," she said as she pushed her away. The wench walked off in a huff as Ariella glared at her. "That wench has no idea who she's messing with," Ariella said. "Oh, calm down, Ariella. No one will take me away from you ever," Fernando told her. "If there was anything worse than a frisky serving wench flirting with like a whore with your man, it's the same man telling you to slow down on the rum." "Who the bloody hell do you think you are?" she thought to herself as she slammed her tankard down. At this point, Ariella was feeling very tipsy. "Let us play then," she shouted. "Aye, Captain," Drake shouted back. As the night continued, the rum continued to pour, and everyone was having a good time. It was nice to have a break from the work on board. As everyone played hazard, Ariella noticed the man Katie spoke of walking slowly down the stairs. He walked over to the bar and ordered a drink. He was the tallest man in the room by far, muscular with thick black as night hair and a well-groomed beard. And although he looked mean as hell, there was something very erotic and mysterious about him. As the tall man waited, he glanced over and noticed Ariella right away. Their eyes locked. The sight of her made him straighten up real tall. Katie gave him his drink and whispered something. And then the raven-haired wench walked up to him and adjusted his shirt collar and seemed to try to kiss him. He nudged her away and walked over to where Ariella's crew was playing. Grabbing a chair, he sat right next to Ariella. Ariella just kept playing, pretending she didn't notice him. Fernando noticed him, though, as did Drake. "Good evening, sir. My name is Fernando Graythorne. Might you be in need of something?" Fernando asked. "Graythorne, you say?" "Yes, that is right," Fernando replied. Ariella stood up. I need to relieve myself, gentlemen." "Sorry," she said. Everyone stood up. "I'll escort you, Captain," Fernando said. "I'm fine, Fernando." "I'll be but a moment," she continued. "But, Captain," Fernando said, but she was already gone. Ariella went outside. She walked behind the tavern. She finished doing her business and thought for a moment. That son of a bitch. Just then, Katie came out. "Ariella, are you okay?" she asked. "Yes, I am fine. Thank you, Katie," she said. "Why is he here? I thought he was out to sea for a couple of fortnights, and I would be fine to come in here," Ariella said. "His ship ran aground right off the Sunset Peak, so he has come back until his crew fixed it, and that is why he is in such a foul mood," Katie explained. Ariella was plenty drunk by now. However, seeing him, she sort of sobered up real quick. "Well, I suppose I'll be going soon." "No, don't leave, Ariella. He won't harm you," Katie continued. "Besides, all your men are having such good fun." "'Tis true, Katie, but I am not afraid of him hurting me. It's more of me hurting him that I'm afraid of," Ariella told her, and then told Katie she would think of staying for a few more rounds, and then she needed to leave. Katie went back inside the tavern. The man in question was the brother of Ariella's one-time love years ago. He was also Katie's cousin. He always wanted Katie to join allegiance to him and join his crew and sell off the Red Dawn. However, Ariella thought that would be a huge mistake, given the fact that she would never get rid of the Red Dawn, and also because she would marry his brother, so she knew he would be unfair to her and treat her badly. Besides all of that, he wanted to bed her, too. She decided to go back into the tavern and finish the game and leave. When she walked in, all the men continued to play and was sitting down but Fernando. She didn't see him at first. She walked in and he followed behind her. "Where were you?" she asked him. "I was right outside keeping an eye on you." She immediately turned to face him and got real close in his face and whispered in a pissed off tone, "I do not need you to keep an eye on me." But my lady, I will always keep an eye on you, he said. She turned around and walked over to the table and sat down. Katie brought more rum and some bread for Ariella, knowing she needed to sober up. Thank you, Katie. Now where were we? Ariella said as she picked up the dice. The man grabbed her arm. Not your turn, Captain, he said. Ariella froze, but not in terror. She glared up at him. Then whose turn might it be? She asked through gritted teeth. 'Tis my turn, he said. Fernando stood up behind Ariella. Captain, I suppose him being the guest at the table, he should have the next turn. The man released Ariella's arm. You're right, Fernando. He is our guest. You can have your turn, she said, looking at the man. Thank you, Ariella. I mean, Captain, he said as he smirked. He took his turn. Ariella glared at Fernando. Fernando took his seat. Ariella took a long drink from her tankard. By the way, Captain, you haven't introduced me to your newest crew member, the man said. He introduced himself to you, Ariella said without looking at him. The men continued to play all the while, listening and watching with a wary eye. Ah, yes, but 'tis ye I want to introduce us, lass, he said. Oh, begging your pardon, Ariella said as she rolled her eyes. Mr. Graythorne, this is Slade Winston, Captain Slade of the sinister ship, the Dirty Devil. Mr. Graythorne is my second in command, Slade. Huh, is that so? Slade questioned as he took a long drag from his pipe. That is so. Well then, I hope you have what it takes to handle her, Slade said as he winked at Fernando. Fernando jumped up. You will not insult my captain in such a way, Mr. Winston. No insult, just a fact. Slade said, your captain and I go way back, isn't that right, Ariella? Ariella looked very annoyed and finished her rum. She set the empty container down, stood up, and looked right into his eyes. We go way back indeed, back to a place I never want to go. All the men were on their feet, ready to defend their captain in any way need be. Well, I best be going. The night is still young, and I fancy a hot wench in my bed, Slade said, as he turned to walk away, but then stopped and turned back. The offer still stands, Ariella. If you ever want to join forces with me or join me for any other adventure, he smiled a wicked smile and walked up to the raven-haired wench, threw her over his shoulders, and as she squealed, they walked upstairs. That's it for now.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. It sounds really good, very intriguing. And yeah, Sandra says you won't be disappointed. Pirate Vixen, yay! Okay, we get the comments here. Oh, there you go. Eerie Darkness just got your book. She bought it.
Oh my God! What? Cool! That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you love it as much as I loved writing it.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll work something out where we can get a contest going.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool. And I'm down for any contest.
All right. Sure. And maybe give a book or two away, maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have, you know what? I've given away some books on Twitter and that, but Sean, I think it's time we do it on your show. I think that would be really cool. Yeah,
for sure. So I'll start the contest thingy and we'll work something out where we can get, and maybe we'll just have the people, we'll have you directly send them to the people where you can actually sign it to them.
Yeah, I'll do that for sure. That sounds cool. And I'll even include one of my cool bookmarks that I made.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. I wanted to keep going on my chapters. I mean, see how excited I am? I don't want to just stop there because this Slade guy comes back in, you know, and he's quite an ass. He really is. But
I mean, it's good that you did because you want to keep everybody intrigued into what's next. So we want to.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me because you know me. I get too excited. I want everybody to know.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, for sure. We've got to keep it. It was nice that you got to read that. Now, just remembering from the first book. I mean, holy cow! It sounds. It's going to be good. It's going to be excellent.
Thank you.
It was very intriguing. Just plain Deb says. So.
Thanks, Deb.
That's pretty much it. We've touched on every subject regarding all the books and everything like that. And I'd love to have you back on when the yeah, when the release is out, and we'll talk about that, and obviously we'll talk about a contest. Everybody, just on the side, do you guys want to see a book giveaway or two? You want to see that? Just put yes, 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 yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, just plain Deb says you pulled her right in. Pulled her right in.
Oh, thank you, Deb. I love you so much. Deb is a sweetheart. She is. And I can't wait. One of these days we're going to do a meetup. I'm waiting for that day.
That would be fantastic. Quickly talk about your meeting with Donnie.
Oh my God, I love Donnie. We went down to California, of course, and we went to Disneyland. You know what? I was talking to Donnie for a little bit before that, and he was like, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, would you like to do a meetup? Do you know, let me tell you, he was like, yes, let's do a meetup now. The thing is, that night, and I didn't know this, the marathon was going on, and he had to go through all kinds of stuff to get to me.
Wow.
It was crazy, and he still came. And, you know, I tried to do meetups with other people, Adam and so-and-so and whatever else, and they didn't have time for me. They didn't have time for me, so Donnie did, and I'm like, you know, I love you forever, and I brought my daughter, and he was so cool to Jenna, and he's just a really, really cool, down-to-earth, really cool, true friend, and we sat there for, I don't know, it was like an hour or something, just talking like we've been friends forever.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the next time I go back out there, we're going to hook up again, and yeah, it's going to be fun.
For all of y'all that don't know what we're talking about, Donnie Spielberg is a YouTuber. He hasn't done much in a little while. He's kind of given his YouTube channel a break, but he's a good guy, and I've spoken to him personally on the phone and whatnot. Of course, Jen went to California and got to meet up with him. He's a good guy. I hope one day we can hook up as well.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Oh, and I wanted to tell you real quick, in my book, there's, in the first book, there's the Alvin tea drink. In the new book, there's the Vixen Red drink. I kicked it up a notch, man. You know I had to. It's got, oh God. It has rum, it has tequila, it has liquor, it has yeah, it's gonna be good. You're gonna have to do it with me. One day when I get up that way, we'll get that drink going, and hey, one drink. I don't even drink hardly ever, but I wanted to do something, and
okay.
It's awesome. My friends over at O'Dooley's, they're an Irish pub. They're gonna hook that up and start selling that drink. I came up with it, and I wanted it to be strong. And in this book, she drinks it. That's the drink of choice. And so I'll have the recipe in it.
Ooh, wow, that sounds pretty hardcore.
It is. It's a pirate drink. Why not? That's all they could drink, right? Rum and wine and stuff. They didn't have, like, the water was so, they couldn't drink that. Could you imagine, Sean? Would you always be drunk, or would you be like, you're immune to it?
I'd probably get immune to it after a while, I guess. If you were like probably.
Your liver would go out at some point, I would think.
Oh, at some point, probably, yeah. For sure. Yeah, so you know what? I want to thank you so much for coming on to the show, and it's a pleasure as always. You know, you've got some great content. You always, you know, you're such a positive role model for me whenever it comes to certain things. Like, you know, I think about you after I talk to you. I don't go on Twitter as often, but whenever you do tweet, and I tweet, and I get on there, it's like I just sit down sometimes and I think, oh wow, Jen, she's like got this very creative mind as well. And you know, of course, Carrie, my love, you know, she also gives me a lot of inspiration as well when I put my videos together.
Carrie's a sweetheart. I love her. She's beautiful. She's such a good mom to the kids.
Oh, she's excellent.
Oh my God, you have lucked out, buddy, and you're a good guy too. So she lucked out too, but yeah, Carrie's
I can be.
Right? Right? That Irish
we all
thing.
have our moments, right, Jen?
Well, we do, because we're passionate. We're passionate people. It doesn't matter if you're passionate and you're, you know, doing the lovey-dovey thing, or if you're ticked off about something. We're passionate no matter what, right?
Yeah. I've got some more good news here. Eerie Darkness also bought, she got the My Love for Disney as well.
What? Oh my God. Thank you, girlfriend.
Great fan. She's a big fan now.
Thank you so much. I can't believe it.
I'll have to hook you guys up somehow in email or whatever. I'll have her email you or you email her or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Give her my email, and hey, if she wants, if I ever meet her personally, I'll sign the books for her, and I hope when she gets her book out, I'll be one of the first to buy it for sure. I'm all for supporting. You know,
yeah,
support each other.
Oh, sorry, I don't mean to keep
support each other, and just it's just a beautiful thing, and I really appreciate that. I really do. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, Val's a great girl. She's putting up with the stuff in Texas right now going on. So.
Oh no, God.
Yeah. She said she was going to drop out early because she had some things to do with the family. I told her family first, but she's obviously hung on to the end, and this is fantastic.
Thank you so much, and I'll pray for your family, sweetheart. I'm very, very sorry that you're going through that stuff. I know it's horrible right now. Yeah. We have family there, and it's not a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. So for everybody that watched, Sandra, Just Plain Deb, Sandy Sinclair, as well as Val, everybody else that was watching, we really appreciate you guys watching, and thanks for coming out. Don't forget, Rockinboxes presents. We've got a couple of more celebrity interviews. September 11th, I've got Mark Torgel, the Toxic Avenger. He played Marvin in Toxic the Avenger, and we're going to be talking about that, and as well as his new movie. Also, thank you to my guest again this week, my very special guest, my good friend. I love her. She's like my sister. She's great. She's a great girl, and anytime she's more than welcome to come on the show. And Sandy, if you ever do a book, you're also welcome. So,
yes.
You want to say goodbye there? Anything else?
Hit the music.
Oh yeah.